Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah, wa alihi wa sahbihi man wala. Yesterday we completed the hadith that forbids labeling a Muslim as a disbeliever. And the warning given in such a hadith, multiple hadiths like this, indicate that either this person is a disbeliever or that label will basically bounce back to the person who said it. And the disbelief is of different grades. The word disbelief could mean the total disbelief in Allah, could mean ungratefulness to Allah's blessings and rights and so on. But the hadith doesn't specify. The next hadith, عن أبي ذر أنه سمع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول ليس من رجل ادعى لغير أبيه وهو يعلمه إلا كفر ومن ادعى ما ليس له فليس منا وليتبوأ مقعده من النار ومن دعا رجلا بالكفر أو قال عدو الله وليس كذلك إلا حار عليه. The hadith is narrated by Abu Dhar that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم said, whoever gives himself or attributes himself to someone other than his father, because normally we use our name and then our father's name and then the grandfather. This is how it goes. It shows your lineage. But some people may feel that their father is not maybe somebody who is well known or reputable, so they choose a name of a different person to give to themselves as their father. So they change their family name and their father's name. That is a great sin in Islam. The hadith says, whoever does an action like this, while he knows, he does this knowingly, illa kafara, he has committed kufr by doing so. Now this kufr is most probably kufr and ihsan, kufr and ni'mah, kufr al-haq. Kufr in Arabic actually means to cover, to hide and to cover. So it can be used in different ways, as I mentioned. People who commit complete kufr and disbelief, they have neglected and covered all the blessings of Allah and the rights of Allah totally. And there's also just kufr and ni'mah. Somebody could be a Muslim, but he may be ungrateful to Allah. That's also some form of kufr. Here, this person has performed kufr towards his father and also towards the rights of Allah Azza wa Jalla, because his father has the right on him that he is his son to carry his name. If he gives this name to somebody else, then he has committed kufr. It's ungratefulness towards the father. Also, he has gone against the commandments of Allah Azza wa Jalla, so he has also denied the rights of Allah Azza wa Jalla along with the rights of his father. The next part of the hadith says, وَمَنِ ادَّعَى مَا لَيْسَ لَهُ فَلَيْسَ مِنَّا. Whoever claims ownership to what is not his, he is not one of us. And this shows that even if the judge, if somebody knows that something is not his, but he still goes to court against someone else, and the judge by mistake gives him that thing, that it is forbidden for him to take it, even if the judge says so. It is forbidden. So whoever claims possession of what is not rightfully his, he is not one of us. Again, this is also a strong warning that he has behaved in such a way that a Muslim should never behave. Now, such as man raghiba an sunnati falaysa minni. Also, this laysa minna here doesn't mean complete kufr. He has committed a great sin and behaved in such a way that the Muslim should never behave. And then the next part, وَلْيَتَبَوَّأَ مَقْعَدَهُ مِنَ النَّارِ. The person who takes possession of what is not his, he should assume his place in the fire of hell. وَمَنْ دَعَى رَجُلًا بِالْكُفْرِ أَوْ قَالَ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ وَلَيْسَ كَذَلِكَ إِلَّا حَارَ عَلَيْهِ. Whoever attributes somebody to kufr, calling him a kafir, or calling him a adu Allah, or enemy of Allah, labeling him like this, and he is not like that, this is not the reality, إلا حار عليه. This description would only go back to the sayer. Go back to the sayer. The next hadith عن أبي هريرة إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا ترغبوا عن آبائكم فمن رغب عن أبيه فهو كفر. Do not choose other than your father's name, because whoever does so, this is kufr. This is again ungratefulness, some form of kufr, but not the major kufr, minor disbelief, and rejection of the commandments of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Also, another hadith by Abi Bakr. إني سمعت سعد بن أبي وقاص يقول سمع أذناي من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو يقول من ادعى أبا في الإسلام غير أبيه يعلم أنه غير أبيه فالجنة عليه حرام. فقال أبو بكر وأنا سمعته من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Again, the same meaning. Whoever attributes himself to other than his father while he knows that this is not his father, then he has no right to enter Jannah. Jannah alayhi haram means becomes prohibited for him to enter Jannah. Again, prohibited for him to enter Jannah. He has committed a major sin, but he has not departed totally from Islam, which means that muharramatun alayhi awwalan. It is forbidden for him to enter Jannah without accounting for this sin, without being held accountable for this sin, before he has the right to enter Jannah. Now, or if he does this, any of these actions, mustahillan, feeling that it is okay to do so, and with total disregards to the commandments of Allah, as if this is halal for him to do so, although he knows that Allah has made it haram. This is called istihlal, means to make the haram halal. That is total kufr. Then there's no question about it. Then al-jannatu alayhi haram means prohibited for him to enter Jannah forever. You follow? Istihlal is something totally worse than even committing the sin itself. The following hadith عن سعد وأبي وقاص same صحابة كلاهما يقول سمع أذناي ووعاه قلبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من ادعى إلى غير أبيه ويعلم أنه غير أبيه فالجنة عليه حرام. Both Sahaba, when they narrate this hadith, they said, we heard it with our ears and we comprehended and understood the saying of the Prophet ﷺ with our hearts. So it means we are very sure that he said so and so. Now, all these hadiths have the same meaning. Just because we mentioned the word of kufr, let me mention this following hadith to you to show you what kufr could mean. سباب المسلم فسوق وقتاله كفر. In this hadith narrated by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, to insult and abuse the Muslim, this is fusuq, this is mischievous, committing mischief. وقتاله كفر. While fighting, physical fighting, is a form of kufr. Fusuq, fasaqa in Arabic means to exit. In the Arabs, for instance, when you hold a soft date and you press it like this and the seed comes out, they say fasaqat al-rutaba. So fusuq means he has gone out of the obedience, the path of obedience to Allah Azza wa Jalla. قتاله كفر. And also the following hadith that says لا ترجعوا بعدي كفارا يضرب بعضكم رقاب بعض. This is in حجة الوداع عن جرير بن عبد الله أنه قال له استنصت الناس. He said to Jarir, quieten the people so that they can listen. Ask the people to listen to me. And then he says, do not turn after me into kuffar, into disbelievers or kuffar. Let's see how they explain kuffar. يضرب بعضكم رقاب بعض, killing each other. Meaning, يضرب بعضكم means hitting each other's necks with your swords. It's an indication of killing each other or going into fighting with the sword with each other. Kuffaran. It has multiple meanings. Look at these. I'm just going to finish with this one. Kuffaran could be, if he indicated mustahillin, if you think this is halal while it is haram, then this is halal, this is true kufr. That's one meaning. Another meaning, which is the meaning adopted by Khawarij, as I mentioned to you, they take those ahadith to the extreme, and they believe that each one of those ahadith talks about real kufr. Like somebody commits any of one of these things, he's no longer a Muslim at all. This is the understanding of the Khawarij, but that has gone to the extreme. Because as I mentioned to you, there's some other ahadith that indicate that this is not what is meant. And also كفارا بمعنى كفارا بحرمة الدماء وحرمة المسلمين, meaning that you have basically ignored, because to cover is to ignore and to hide. To commit kufr, to ignore and to hide, which means you have ignored the sanctity of the blood, and you've went ahead and fought each other as if blood is not haram anymore. Another meaning, they said that do not act like the kuffar who feel it is okay to go around fighting each other or killing each other. Do not behave like them. This is another meaning how they explain this hadith. Also kuffaran was explained by لابسين السلاح والدروع, because when they go to war, they wear armor to hide themselves or protect themselves. This action of hiding could also be called kufr, means that they are hiding themselves. Even the people, the farmers, they are called kuffar in Arabic because they put the seeds in and hide them into the ground. So this word can have multiple meanings in Arabic. Kuffaran bi ni'matillah, that you have ignored and rejected the blessings of Allah. You follow? Yeah. All these ahadith are used for zajr. Zajr means to give a strong threat so that the person doesn't even come near this action. You give a threat that is even beyond beyond the real punishment that will happen to that person, so that it makes him not even think of coming near this thing. الزجر وليس ظاهره مرادا. Also kuffara means do not call each other kuffar, because if you call each other kuffar, this may lead you to start fighting each other as well. Satrul haq means to hide the truth. So it has multiple meanings. Or this action may lead to kufr. That's a very strong interpretation as well. That all these kaba'ir, all these major sins mentioned here, if a person does them and continues to do them, even though he knows they are haram, at one point he will not realize they are haram anymore, and in his sense they will become halal, and then he would be falling into kufr. So this is a warning, such as the hadith aftar al-hajimu wal-mahjum, hijama, like bloodletting. Mm-hmm. Prophet ﷺ said when he saw people doing the bloodletting, and they used to suck it like this, when they cut the skin and then they suck the blood out. He says aftar al-hajim wal-mahjum, which means that the person, both of them, have broken their fast. But many scholars understood it that this may lead to them breaking their fast, although they have not broken their fast just by this action. How is that? Because if this person loses so much blood, he will become so weak that he will not be able to continue fasting while he has given out all this blood. And the other person, as he's sucking like this, he sometimes may sip in some of the blood, and he also may break his fast unintentionally. So sometimes the wording is used to indicate that this is the eventual outcome if you continue doing that. Such as when we say, Allah says, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. If you have read the Quran, qara'at means read in the past tense, then make isti'adha. But do we make isti'adha? We say a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir before, right? So here qara'ta means you intend to recite the Quran. You're about to recite the Quran. Although the sentence that is used is the past tense. Also when we do iqamah, we say قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةِ قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةِ, which means salah has started. Okay? Or salah has been established, and it hasn't yet, right? It's just about to be established. That's very important as well. That's another way of explaining these ahadith, basically to reconcile between them and the other ahadith that indicate that committing major sins does not take the person out of Islam unless he feels that doing this is halal, istihlal. You follow? You'll stop here. Now.